from PRX.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls and friends beyond the binary, it's time for the podcaster that puts the morning dove in lovey-dovey. And that's not even because that's just one of my favorite sounds in the world. It's the sound of a morning. I don't know if it's cooing, but if I hear it making the noise, I won't be booing. It's time for Sleep With Me podcast to put you to sleep. Hey, everybody, it's Scoots. I'm talking about tonight's sponsor, Helix Sleep. And if you don't have a Helix mattress in your life, you got to think about taking the quiz at helixsleep.com/sleep. I've been sleeping in my Helix probably longer than you've been listening to this podcast. And I love my bed so much. I have a move coming up, and I'm trying to decide because I have to move in a couple different stages just due to things outside of my control. And I know I'm going to be in my apartment, but most of my stuff's going to be gone. And I'm like, should I keep my Helix there and then buy another Helix for my next destination? Or should I pay to have that Helix moved, but I don't want to be without it because I don't think I'll be able to sleep without it because I love sleeping in my Helix. And I know it'll be super easy if I take the Helix quiz at helixsleep.com/sleep. Maybe my needs and feel preferences have changed. So I could see what my options are. I could choose between a Luxe mattress, a Helix Elite, or just, whatever comes up in my search. I know I'll have choices. So the question is, do you have that kind of relationship with your mattress that you don't want to be without it? Because if you don't, what are you waiting for, right? You could have a Helix shipped straight to your door free of charge and get testing it out. But the first thing you need to do is just take that quiz because Helix has you and your needs in mind, your feel preferences. How do you like to sleep? How does your partner like to sleep? So it is time for you to get a new bed. Because trust me, this summer, I do not want to be without my Helix mattress. And Helix has got an amazing deal lined up for you. Go to helixsleep.com/sleep for 27% off site-wide during their 4th of July sale happening now. This offer is exclusive for listeners to Sleep With Me. That's helixsleep.com/sleep for this exclusive 4th of July sale offer. That's 27% off site-wide. helixsleep.com/sleep. Thanks, everybody. All right, this is Scoots reading through referrals of people that supported the show. Super listeners just like you that supported the show. If any of this resonates with you, you might be the person I'm trying to get a hold of. And honestly, if you're listening to me and hearing me right now, I am not talking to anybody else. It is rare even for super listeners to be listening and hearing me. But like those are the people whose minds I'm trying to change, not people that have already decided not to support the show. Then maybe listen to what Taylor had to say. Thanks. Taylor said, I'm an adult in my late 20s, early 30s. I go through brief periods of insomnia that last a month. Like many mentioned in the intro, I tried Sleep With Me on a friend's recommendation and bounced off of it. It wasn't until a few years later where I was really struggling to find something to help me sleep. I tried it again and worked. Personally, I found the ads distracting, so I decided to try out the ad-free ones by supporting the show, and this version worked perfectly for me. The monthly cost is small compared to the benefit I get from the show. There wasn't anything that's specific that kept me from supporting the show, but Taylor, just to paraphrase, Taylor did start falling asleep during the intros, so obviously, like, instead of winding down during the intros, the ad spots would wake Taylor up. I was a little skeptical that the ad-free would help and planned only to try it for a few months to see if it helped, and, well, it's been a few years. Because I found the show helpful, I do feel good about supporting the podcast so it can help other people. And thanks so much for supporting the show, Taylor. If you're still listening and hearing from me, you relate to what Taylor says. You are a super listener. I'd love it if you could consider supporting the show on Sleep With Me Plus, because I hope you're that one person I'm trying to get a hold of out of those 19 people, so we can be here for you and everybody else long into the future. You could do that at sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. Thanks. Mystery Bard, a lot of people help out on the show. Who are they?
This posty poster son sounds like an earful. Wrote the theme song. Edits episodes. Carl W. the Legend. Also edits episodes. Ashley, Kenny, Scotty, Jennifer. Runner. Eric and the team at Astound. I am the mystery bard. I do the lullabies, yeah. I do Patreon. Buy the merch and support the sponsors. You can find anything you want at sleepwithmepodcast.com. And we're so proud that we could dance. Rusty Biscuit, Lois, Anna like banana. Leah does the transcripts.
Thanks, Mystery Bard. Oh, and hey, if you're listening to this, you know, the referral program, if you're not in a position to financially support the show, is a huge way to support the show and get free access to Sleep With Me Plus. That's at sleepwithmepodcast.com/refer. But there's also a tiny way anybody can help out the show. It's free. It helps out the show a little bit. And that's following the podcast wherever you listen to it, or commenting if you listen on Spotify or YouTube. It really helps other people discover the show, helps you stay up to date on the latest episodes. And only 50% of people follow or subscribe. It's free to follow or subscribe in podcast apps. So if you do that, it just gives it helps people discover the show, and it helps you stay up to date on the show. So follow or subscribe in your podcast app. That'll help out the show a little bit. Not necessarily keep us going forever, but I'd appreciate it. And while you're at it, go ahead and follow Bedtime Stories from Sleep With Me. That's in every podcast app, too. That has a story-only episodes that'll add it to your sleepy repertoire. Thanks, and what do you say we get on with the show? Hey, all night tossing, turning, mind racing, trouble getting to sleep, trouble staying asleep. Well, welcome. This is Sleep With Me, the podcast that puts you to sleep. We do it a bedtime story. All you need to do is get in bed, turn out the lights, and press play. I'm going to attempt to do the rest. And what I'm going to try to do is create a safe place where you can set aside whatever's keeping you awake, whether it's thoughts, feelings, physical sensations, changes in time or temperature, strange bell, ding, like those desk bells, the old customer service bells, or, thoughts, feelings, physical sensations, whatever it is. I'm going to try to distract you from that. What I'm going to do is create a safe place by sending my voice across the deep, dark night. I'm going to use these lulling, soothing, creaky, dulcet tones, pointless meanders. I'm going to try to take my time and be, I'm not the most patient person, but I'll take a pace. I take a pace that'll make anybody impatient. Even Molasses would say, "Hey, would you pick it up already? I thought you were going to talk about bells." And I'd say, "Well, maybe I will. Ding dong, ding dong. That's a doorbell." Maybe we could go back to maybe we talk about bells in a minute. But first, let me get to these new listeners. If you're new here, welcome. Let me try to welcome you in. I hope you feel invited, and I hope you feel safe. Everybody's welcome here, and I'll try to treat you with dignity and respect. So thanks for coming by. This podcast doesn't work for everybody, but give it a few tries. I hope it can help you. It's a little bit silly and a lot of bit goofy. But here's what to expect structure-wise. The first 4 minutes or so are business. That's how we keep the podcast free. Coming out twice a week, and over 600 archived episodes free. And the easiest way to access the archives is to subscribe in your favorite podcast app. And make sure you're subscribed, and then you can just go to my feed or whatever and scroll through them. Create a playlist if you wish. What was I saying? Structure show. First form forgetfulness. That's another technique I use. Of course, it's faux forgetfulness. Written, all this is written. Hold on, let's see. Let me write that down. Okay, that was written. So structure show, first 4 minutes are business. Then there's a 12-minute intro, which we're doing now. And the intro is kind of like a show within a show, where I try to explain the podcast. Believe it or not, I've done it like 640 times. I still haven't successfully nailed it. Where, like, I've said, I never said nailed it. I mean, I have, but it was like to punctuate a joke about my, to say, I guess not snark. I don't like, I try not to keep snark and the other kind of stuff. Smarm. I don't know. It's maybe some smarm. Has anyone ever made a product called Smarmalade? That sounds like something I could go, it sounds more like a marshmallow than a marmalade. Maybe, hey, how about this? Anybody listening, mix fluff, like, you know what fluff is. I talk about that every 150 intros. Let me come back to this marmalade. I guess I won't be talking about bells. Maybe I will, though. So there's the intro, which you've seen. I get really distracted as I try to explain what the podcast is. Smarmy, though, that's a nice word, like smarmalade, smarm, and smarmy. Is there anything called the Smarmy Army? Anyone? Okay, so structurally, then there's, after the intro, there's about a 45-minute story. Tonight, I'm not entirely sure what it is. It may be a Trader Joe's, what is that thing called? Fearless Flyer recap, but I'm not positive because I haven't done it yet. So that'll be about 45 minutes. Then we cap it off with some thank yous. So the show's about an hour. The reason it's an hour is so you don't feel any pressure to fall asleep. I'll be here to keep you company, to be your boyfriend, your friend, your companion, your sidekick, your smarmalade. I could put smart. How does this sound? No, probably not. You don't want anything with a aid. Anything with an ADE. You don't want anything near your bed because it's going to be sticky. I was going to say I could coat your feet in marmalade, but probably no, only in a bathtub or at a spa. And even then, you'd say, why don't you serve me some nice, something nice with marmalade on it? And they say, oh, you're so smarmy. Excuse me. Anyway, so there's, I'm going to be here about an hour to keep you company. That's what I was saying. Like, there's no pressure to fall asleep. No pressure to listen, no pressure to fall asleep. No wrong way to listen to this podcast. Even if you stop listening, if it doesn't work for you, you don't need to listen. Give it a few tries. But I make this show because I've been there, and I do a lot of overthinking. I also happen to be very good at going off subject and getting confused. And also just like my brain gets caught up on stuff like this marmalade. It's like a bells ding. I'm trying to figure out a way to link smarmalade, smarmy, and bells. Because I'm also picturing the only time I noticed doorbells was when I delivered papers. When I would go collect the money, you'd have to ring people's doorbells. I don't know, like the doorbell. I have a I have a ringing one, like an old fashioned one that rings. But my front door is not usable because my apartment's so small. Where my front door is actually my bedroom. But, high living. 33% of the living room is, my bedroom. But that's how you maximize space. So I could use the back door of my place. But his doorbells they have those new doorbells. But I don't know if doorbells are still a thing. I guess they probably are. But I always picture those ones that look like they have the long things that you see in churches for gongs. I don't think that's what they're called, but and I always wondered, are those real? Here's the thing I would love to do. I never did this as a kid. I've made a lot of bad choices in my whole life, but as a kid, I would get interested in stuff and I would take it apart or break it, as the authority figures would say. And I never took apart a doorbell, to be honest. So I'm going to have to find, if you have a doorbell, watch out, because I'm going to be coming. Because, I don't know if you can see that. I don't know if you had a friend that was in that upper middle class region, or you delivered something to a home and you were waiting in their ante room. And I'm not talking about, 1%ers. I'm talking about the upper, maybe a dentist, or something. This is no smarm here. I'm serious. I'm holding a smarmalade. But you see, there's these kind of doorbells, doorbells in the last 30 years, before these laser doorbells or whatever the heck they got now, they do the analyzation and the cameraing. It was just like a plastic box. And then the fancy ones, they had these long tubes coming off them. They thought were I don't know, they looked like organs in a church or something, but different. Were those for decoration or were those real? Because here's the thing, with, I I don't know. I don't want to get into church bells, but I love the sound of church bells. And I feel like, again, that's another thing where I said, what? That was a record? Those are speakers? What the heck are those bells are just for decoration? That was another awakening I had probably when I was like 22, like for most kids, they figured that out when they said, no, those are speakers that last. To square with the grills is just a speaker. I mean, when you think about cutting back on things, give me a break. Like, why the heck? Like, hey, here's some silent applause for, I don't like, anywhere that has a ringing bell. Like this is smarmy. God bless you. If you got some sort of establishment, even secular or non-secular, with a ringing, like a bell, thumbs up. Because it's amazing. I don't know how I got from Smarmalade to church bells. The church of the place I went to grammar school, which you could sometimes hear from my house, even though it was far away. It would play the Beatles, like a Beatles song, but I guess it was just a recording. Now I said, man. How come we never see the bell ringer? Because they got talent. I mean, St. Anne's must have the greatest bell ringer. And like that would be when my mom would drum her fingers and sigh. I'd just say, okay, I'm going to be outside listening to the bells. One day, I never dreamt of being a bell ringer, though. Probably knew it wasn't my thing. But if you've dreamt of it, maybe, I don't know, maybe that's another story I could write. I tried to write something for Tim Curry, as we know, with, that was where he was a church organist, and there was an argument over the, whatever the heck, the giant thingamajig, not a cathedral, the thing with the lights, I don't know, like, why does my brain not remember stuff like that? Not a candelabra, but bigger. Anyway, if you're new here, this is a pretty good example. Like, that was pretty incoherent, but I could try to trace it back. First, I was thinking about doorbells or bells. Well, first I was thinking, like, what if you're sleeping and you hear bell? It's annoying. It's also kind of annoying when someone bangs on that bell, like ring bell for service, though sometimes it's not bad. And then somehow that made me think of something came up about being smarmy or snarky. Then I was thinking about smarmalade. You didn't hear this, but every time I say smarmalade, I rub my belly. That's a practice for the commercial. Once the product's made, I'll say, smarmalade. Tastes like maybe I'll be interrupted by someone snarky there. Like, that would be my role. I say, smarmalade. Tastes like, and then this, like, someone smarmy would come in. It may taste so good, I want to rub it on my feet, but I won't because I know it ends in ADE and anything. You can't think anything. I guess if you're making a foot product, make sure you name it AID instead of ADE, because AID seems to indicate copious amounts of sugar. Okay, so let me wrap it up. If you're new here, here's the thing I like to posit, because I'm fairly confident in one thing. I don't know if anything I said made any sense, but were you thinking about anything else while you were listening? Or were you kind of half listening saying, what the heck's up with this dude? Is he serious? And I say, yeah, I'm serious. Is serious is marmalade. That's good. Yeah, maybe I could have someone say, ooh, smarmy. Like, after they taste it. Anyway, like, that'll be a future product. But this podcast is a little bit different. It's good-natured and good intention because I just want to help. So I hope it helps for you. Give it a few tries. See if it works. And I want to let you know, I appreciate you coming by. And I really hope and I really yearn that I can help you fall asleep. Thanks. Everybody, this is Scoots right now, and if you're listening to me right now, you're hearing me. You know I've been doing these very targeted reads, right? Because this isn't for new listeners, this message. It isn't for occasional listeners. It isn't for people that listen from time to time. This is for people with Sleep With Me is not just a part of your bedtime routine, but it's like something that's a part of your bedtime routine 5+ nights a week. If you listen 5 nights a week, if you listen to 1 or more episodes a night, and if you listen all night long, please hear me out. If you're willing to listen. If you're not willing to listen or you're not interested, don't worry about it. I'm not trying to change anybody's mind here. I'm only trying to get through the people that haven't heard me yet or haven't listened yet. If you've already decided supporting the show's not for you and you're an all-night listener, don't worry about it. But if you are an all-night listener and you want to continue to be an all-night listener and you're listening to me right now, you're hearing me, you are a super listener, right? And you're who I'm trying to get it through to. Ads never have covered the cost of super listening, particularly all-night listening, because companies don't pay for ads that no one hears or listens to. And I think like super listening and all-night listening and 5-night-a-week listening is what makes Sleep With Me special and why I want it to be there. And I want this ad-supported, listener-supported, free version to be there. But it can only be there when the people that value it the most overcome whatever it is. Like if your mind can't be changed, that's not changeable. But if you're putting it off, if you're tuning me out, if you're saying one day, like if you've thought about it and there's just something small in your way, if you could think about signing up to support the show, it would be huge. And we really do need your support. If you're an all-night listener or a 5-night-a-week listener, 5 or more nights a week. And we have a great deal, 20% off the Boyfriend tier for all-night listeners. That's built with all-night listeners in mind. You could go to sleepwithmepodcast.com/all-night. The first 5 people to sign up, only with that link, though, sleepwithmepodcast.com/all-night. It's just 20% off the Boyfriends tier only. But the first 5 people will also get a notebook that I used to outline or write an episode sent to them. But you'll also be a part of something special, and I really appreciate it. Thanks.
All right, hey everybody, this is time. It's time for our holiday Fearless Flyer coverage. A few months later, from 2017. Where you get to go back and think about what Trader Joe's had in stock and was promoting for the holidays. And this isn't passive aggressive. You say, well, you're promoting it through these. Why aren't you promoting these things on podcasts? I guess when someone would promote it for free on a podcast, why don't you pay for that kind of stuff, Trader Joe's? You know, so if you get a chance, go ahead and, bug Trader Joe's. They can, they do have I think they make the highest margins per square foot. So, they can afford to be bugged. As long as they don't raise my prices, if they had to find a way to whatever. But so I'm going to cover the Thanksgiving and the holiday versions of the Trader Joe's Fearless Flyer. And what I'll do is, I guess after I do the Thanksgiving one, I'll give my thoughts on, or my relationship with this year. This season was different. Every year it's the seasons of my life, as Thomas Aquinas once said. Trader Joe's, it's a place, I think it was Thomas More who said, Trader Joe's, it's a place to shop for all seasons, for people of all seasons. But so I'll do my holiday, my personal, I personalize this anyway, but, it definitely over the past 2 years have had different relationships with the holiday selection there. And this year was no different, probably more boring this year. But so this is, the Food Pilgrimager, volume 11, number 1, November 2017. Presenting a selection of fine, fanciful foods to keep you and yours happy and thankful. Also, just in case you don't have a Trader Joe's, let me explain that just to be fair. Trader Joe's is in the U.S. I don't know if it's a regional supermarket or food shop, grocery store. I think those are the 3 terms. And it's just in certain regions of the U.S. It mostly stocks Trader Joe's branded merchandise or, merchandise they contract out. And it's very good at it's like a 60% impulse shopping and 40% grocery shopping. But they do seem to have either, I don't know if it's marketing or if it's, but that's where I do all my grocery shopping. And here's a couple of reasons. One, the store's smaller. Two, you occasionally have crushes on people that I find it three, it's a store smaller. The pricing, I think, is very competitive. And I like when I'm impulse shopping there, even though you're still dealing with some sort of corporation, it feels different. So there's, I don't know, they do a good job. Trader Joe's, they do a good job. But it's just a grocery store with whimsically store-branded merchandise. And so this is the one for Thanksgiving here. Turkeys came November 10th. I don't know if I've had a Trader Joe's turkey. I think I have, but not in a few years. Then pumpkin pie. I don't think I've had their pumpkin pie. Let's see what this is. According to some food historians, originally 17th century pumpkin pie was hollowed out pumpkin filled with milk, honey, and spices, and sometimes apples. But maybe I'll try one. I don't know if they'll be on sale this week. They were already $5.99. 20 roses. Here's the thing: if you're on a first date or a 100th date, 20 roses. Here's another idea: split them into 10s. Here's another idea: split it in 6s and then keep 2 for yourself. These are from Bogota, Colombia. So shout out to our friend David. He's in Medellin, I think. Over at Love Your Work podcast. But this is an assorted, seemingly unseasonal flowers is actually an annual affair. These prodigious rose blooms are pruned in November. Oh, because they want to get the bumper crop for February. And that's $9.99 for 20 roses. Here's the thing. Will they keep to Valentine's Day? I'd probably not, but you could try. You save a lot of dough. Okay, here's a bargain I missed. I never looked at the pricing. They had chocolate advent calendars for 99 cents. I could have just bought those for gifts for 99 cents. And one was even an adventure board game. But I do my advent calendar. I get a Lego one. This year was Star Wars Legos for my daughter. And that's it. Then automatic dishwashing gel, $3.99 for 42 ounces with plant and mineral-based ingredients. And I don't have a dishwasher, but that seems like a good deal, $3.99. Fresh lemon scent. Here's one that I'll never pronounce. Green beans, but these ones are another solution. Haricot verts, beans green in French. They don't have a string that you have to pull out. These legumes are quick to cook, and you would say snap. $5.99 for 2 pounds. So that's interesting. First page, maybe I've tried the pumpkin pie, but I can't be certain. Okay, then we have grade A butter, double A. I don't know what double A means. Maybe they explain it. Award-winning creamery, parcel 4-ounce sticks, waxed paper. $2.99, for a pound. And that's where I do buy my butter. Gourmet fried onion pieces. I have one canister from last year and one from this year in my cupboard, but I haven't used them. Though it says they add gourmet flair to almost any holiday side and a savory boost. Well, hot dogs aren't a bad idea. Maybe I'll try it with hot dogs. Because I have 2 of them. I always say, well, let me get that. That's an impulse buy. Raw pecan halves from Texas, 12,000 acres of pecan trees. Murasaki sweet potatoes, dark purple on the outside, cream colored on the inside. $3.99. Cut butternut squash. Again, I'm not big on I guess I'm not big on squash and sweet potatoes. Trimmed asparagus. I love asparagus. My daughter does not. But that's $2.99. And I think that is a cruciferous vegetable, so that's good. Like participants in a regional game of telephone, rural Englanders in the early 20th century mislabeled it as sparrowgrass. While we're not exactly sure how they understood the bird connection, they do look like grass, they say. Extensive history going back to at least ancient Egypt. Then here was something, I don't know if they stack this all through the year. I'm not a truffle, I mean, I do like truffles, but a black truffle butter, if you want something fancy, I don't know if they still have it, but I do recommend that to people that like truffles. Smooth and creamy, earthy flavor and aroma. A 3-ounce tub for $2.99. Corn pudding. I didn't even. This looks interesting. As a turkey sidekick. Ready-made side dish. Next year. Souffle-esque recipe. Listen to this. Filled with tender yellow and white corn, diced onions, and swimming with a rich blend of mozzarella and Parmesan cheese. I'm going to stop there today and see if they still have that in stock. That looks good. Oh, but this is from Thanksgiving. Pull apart Aloha rolls. I saw these were still in stock on the, I don't know when the last time I was there. 20, maybe I was on there on the 29th or the 28th or the 27th, or the 26th. I was in the grocery store one of those days. So they still had those, and those are like, look great. You could make little sliders with those too. Turkey gravy. I either have 2 or 3 of these in my cupboard, but I haven't made any turkey. But in case, if something happens, I got plenty of turkey gravy. Let's see. Then they have 3 mash cash or 3 mash cachet. Must be pre-made. Mashed potatoes, formed into medallions. Is this frozen? Oh no, maybe not. I don't know. I tried to buy I thought I would buy some, of the dried mashed potatoes. This was like 4 or 5 years ago for my daughter. 'Cause she liked the flaky ones, but she didn't like the ones from no offense, Trader Joe's. These are frozen. This looks interesting. I might have to try those. 20-ounce bag, $2.49. But I'm really good at making mashed potatoes. That's what I made this year for Thanksgiving. You could say it doesn't get simpler or sweeter with mashed sweet potatoes. 18-ounce bag, $2.49. And then mashed cauliflower with skim milk, half and half, and butter. Velvety puree seasoned with garlic. This sounds pretty good. And enhanced with chunks of cauliflower florets. Frozen in medallions. I'm going to have to try that. Okay, so that's interesting. Let's see. This is all grown-up stuff. Let's see what else we have here. Scalloped cracker trio. Well, not a traditional Thanksgiving meal. Scalloped crackers with their fancy edges fit right in. Rosemary, red chili, and garlic. I didn't see those. I would try those. I'd love the taste of red chili cracker. This year I didn't have the Thanksgiving and stuffing kettle chips, but I did have them last year, and they were very good. So maybe 2018 you could try those. Raspberry cranberry spritzer. That's like a juice in sparkling water, or as a base for something more adults. Roasted tomato and cranberry salsa. I'd pass on that. I like cranberry goat cheese. As I say, when I have goat cheese, I can taste the goat. I'm not a big fan of goat cheese. I can taste it. It doesn't just taste gamey. It tastes goaty to me, goat cheese. And it's not the fact that it's called goat cheese, because I can taste it even when I say, that tastes like goat to me. That must be goat cheese. They had 4 kinds of cranberries. Had dried cranberries, $1.49. Fresh cranberry sauce, $3.49. Regular cranberry sauce in a jar, $1.99. And cranberry orange relish at $3.49. Then they had puff dogs, which are like a hot dog in a puffy stuffing. I've bought these for school lunches. 1 hot dog will make 2 lunches. I think this is the one. Full-size uncured beef hot dog. I bake 1, cut it in half, and it goes for 2 lunches for my daughter. Turkey cranberry apple salad. That's $3.99 through the Thanksgiving season. Didn't have that, but that doesn't sound too bad. The turkeys, let's see what this says about turkeys. They had turkeys, spiral cooked ham, brine, bone-in, half turkey breast. Oh, bone-in. I didn't know that. No hyperbole. And then turkey and stuffing and croûte, or something. What does that even mean? Oh, like beef Wellington. I'm having trouble, like, reading the turkeys because of the way this newspaper's thing. I'm not a ham person, but I know, like, hams are, I think they're easier to prepare because they're already cooked. And let's check the back page here. All's well that ends well, they say. They had turkey and cranberry dog treats, 16-ounce packs, $3.49. Sweet potato and marshmallow pixie pie made exclusively in Kentucky. This non-fictional yet fantastical pixie pie mix is a lifesaver. Somewhere between a brownie and a pie in texture with a buttery crust. This sounds interesting, but I'm not a big fan of sweet potatoes. Turkey, fat-free bouillon, turkey stock, $2.29. Great for your stuffing. Oh, here's another thing I have 2 or 3 of from the past 2 or 3 years in my cupboard. Cream of portobello mushroom soup, $1.99. Shelf stable, it says. Hopefully for a long time. Gingerbread turkey kit. I didn't try this year. It comes with everything you need, though, other than egg whites and vinegar. Cornbread stuffing mix. I didn't try that. Gluten-free stuffing mix, $5.99. Riced cauliflower stuffing. So they're really big on this, like really using cauliflower for different things. Mini marshmallows. I have those in my cupboard for hot cocoa times. Coins of the world. This is interesting. They have euros, francs, pounds, and U.S. coins wrapped in gold, silver, and copper colored foil for Hanukkah or Christmas Eve, it says. Even Scrooge could keep them all for themselves. And then finally, there's 2 more. Is it a pie, is it a cake, or is it a cobbler? Traditionally found on holiday staples across New England, Nantucket-style cranberry pie. I didn't see this one. Tart cranberries, walnut pieces form this buttery confection with accents of almond and vanilla. Sounds like it could be interesting. And then a chocolate pecan pie bar. It's rectangular, which is why we decided to call it a bar. It's a melt-in-your-mouth, equal-angled pie-esque treat. I think I have the ingredients. Is this come in a box? No, this comes in, you buy it. Because I did buy a box of something with pecans you could make that I haven't made. I'll probably make it, maybe in March. I don't know. So that's the Thanksgiving one. And then we'll move on to the holiday season one. So we're going to talk about my holiday purchases. I tried to curb, here's the thing. If you just started listening to this podcast or you've been listening a while, but you sleep through this and you're listening now, I've gone through different phases of my relationship with all the holiday impulse buy stuff at Trader Joe's. And I think they probably have a marketing team studying me because usually I just buy everything, at least one tub of everything that looks interesting to me. And I guess they just mean holiday desserts. But so one year I did that well before the podcast and they had less selection. This was probably 5 or 6 years ago. Then I get settled on these dark-covered peppermint JoJo's with candy cane pieces. Just buy those. I would buy, so I had 1 box a month over the year until the next holiday season. And, I burned out of those. And actually, even, there's one time, I had a roommate and, she actually, stole a bunch of them. And then I had internal debate. I said, I know she took them because she didn't even bother covering it up. And it was someone that was much older than me. But I said, what the heck? Why would you steal my, but anyway, I got burned out of the dark chocolate. It became too chocolatey for me. I just ate too much of that. And then last year for sure, I mean, I'm not ashamed. I guess I should be ashamed to say it. I still have Trader Joe's holiday cookies in my cupboard from last holidays. Because last year anything I bought, I tried to, and it was for the podcast, also for kind of podcast research, but I bought a lot of different stuff that I thought I would like. And the most part I did like this stuff, and then I would consume it. And then other stuff I was like, I'll try that later. Or some stuff I just said, well, that was good, but I won't repurchase it. And this year I said, come on, can we keep a control on this? Because I'd like to actually make some holiday cookies or something, which I didn't really do. But I did cut down on my purchases this year because I just said, let's try to practice some self-control. But I do still have stuff that I haven't tried yet. I still have stuff from 2016 holidays. I probably have stuff from 2015. I mean, including shelf-stable stock. And so this will be interesting because I probably have some interesting reviews. And I will say that my favorite thing from 2016 did not return, which made sense, which was a tub of butter cookies shaped like holiday wreaths and then dipped in green sugar. Yeah, so very simple, like a holiday cookie that you would buy at a store and not make, the harder butter cookies. And I must say, I'm not kidding. I probably ate 4 or 5 tubs of those last year. No, probably more, 4, 5, 6 tubs of those last year. Over the holiday season in the first 3 or 4 months of 2017. And I guess, I don't know, I'm just trying to cut back on treats a little bit, but as we start out this thing on the front page, I purchased 2 of the 3 things on the front page. So this is the 2017 Holiday Fearless Flyer, and it has a thinking moon with a crown on it, saying, a marbit, my kingdom for a marbit, and really nice design. And it starts out, okay, here's another thing you want to learn about Scoots, and I'll try to keep this as friendly as I can. The first thing comes up is winter snowflake pasta. And I'll tell Trader Joe's this and the rest of you, if you want me to immediately stop listening to you, use the word snowflake in any context other than talking about snow or arts and crafts. It literally shuts my listening. I just have a great reaction to the way that term has been reappropriated and then reappropriated. So don't use it, just never use that term unless you say, it has making snowflakes, or, look at those snowflakes falling. So sorry, Trader Joe's, I'm going to skip that. I guess they could say technically it's just snowflake-shaped pasta. And I'd say, okay, well, I don't know. I've lost it. That term just impacts me now. But also because it gets used in emails. Dear Scoots, something snowflake. And I say, okay, I should just put an auto block filter on my email. Also, it never says Dear Scoots. It never starts like that. It just says, just so you know. That's if you also don't start emails with just so you know, or like a compliment, and then just so you know. That tells me when someone says just so you know, I say the next sentence is going to have snowflake in it. I bet $50. But anyway, let's go on to great news. And this is something I have a treasure waiting for me at the end of this rainbow is mini minty stars. And I am a huge fan of mint, and chocolatey mint. Not everybody is, but I am. So that's one of the things about the holiday season. Even if it's fake, I don't care. And I've never tried these. I think these were new in 2017. And, oh, no, I guess not. I'm wrong once again. Oh, no, maybe not. I'll read the thing. But, so I have these in my cupboard, just one box, because I tried to practice self-control. And I'll be eating them at some point in 2018. Mini minty stars. Inspired by the perennial Trader Joe's season favorite dark chocolate stars, the mini dark chocolate minty stars. Oh, they joined the family in 2013, and now they've become stars in their own right through the 5th year running. Even though they're small, these Celestials are, look, this is really well written, outfitted with a big boost of flavor from chocolate and mint. Really, this is so, and I'm not being facetious, this is so well, each cookie is liberally adorned with nonpareils, which not only add to the visual appeal, but also a scrumptious crunch. We're nearly certain you could do, look at, they even say this, anywhere, anytime you could enjoy them, inside, outside, on a train, or even a crane, with cocoa, tea, or a hot, steaming mug of, or coffee. Your enjoyment will surely multiply. If you're a fan of the originals and you like the idea of chocolatey, minty, miniature things, you'll thank your lucky stars. Look at this, wonderful use of alliteration. Listen to the sentence. You'll thank your lucky stars for these little luminaries. Wow. We're selling 10 ounce of box of kosher certified stars for the stellar price of $2.99. Okay, so there's those. Then I have this one, chocolate covered pretzel assortment. Pretzel twist assortment. These I have, and we only had, it had 2 levels, and so we've only eaten one half of this box, and the other half is still sealed. And it's really good. I think this is the one. It has 3 different ones. Yeah. I'll read it. So you can, we'll be honest. We like covering pretzels in chocolate. No shoot. There's no additional twist to Trader Joe's chocolate, blah, blah, blah. The real deal, covered in good chocolate. That's italicized. So I don't know what that means. That I may quibble with the editing there, but the concept is simple. Salty, twisty, crispy, and that is a key with the pretzel. Chocolate pretzels is the salt. Covered in smooth chocolate and crunchy toppings. Result, not so simple, but downright impressive. And here's where it gets good. Each box has 12 pretzels enrobed in 3 unique topping combinations. Dark chocolate and chopped almonds, milk chocolate and rainbow sprinkles, and dark chocolate and crushed peppermint. And they're bigger than, they're like regular sized pretzels, not a soft pretzel size. And you'll find 4 of every variety, which means there's plenty for sharing. And we also understand if you want to eat all 12 of them. And that's $6.99. And it came in a really nice box. It may say wasteful, but I mean, I realize this is part of how they get you to impulse buy things. Okay, then they had wreaths. I didn't buy a wreath from them. I never have, but I should have, like before Thanksgiving. $9.99. Probably smelled really good, and they looked good. Then sipping chocolate. I think I tried this once. I said, what the heck is the difference between this and how, is it like, so I may have tried that. I may not have. It's just, I guess I'm not, because I'm not like a diehard dark chocolate fan. I said, I'd rather just drink black coffee. If I'm going to have dark chocolate and it's before 12, I'll just have black coffee. Oh, here's a little story break. I don't know this. They must be listening to this podcast. I may have to contact someone. This is called the O's of Hot Cocoa, and now an exclusive interview with one of our buyers conducted by the Fearless Fox. Fearless Fox, hot cocoa. What's wrong with good old hot cocoa? The buyer says, well, a bowl. Oh, they have these hot cocoa, like Cheerios, but with a hot cocoa flavor. I don't know. It goes on and on. Here's the Marbits thing. The Marbits here. What does Marbit mean? Oh, marshmallow bits, I guess. Oh, so it says Marbits. Oh, the industry term for freeze-dried marshmallows, FYI. Usually those are, freeze-dried marshmallows are full of stuff they don't want under the Trader Joe's label, like ingredients. So they searched the world for Trader Joe's friendly mallows. And where did they find them? Belgium, of course. Vanilla Marbits. I might have to see if they have that. I didn't realize it had Marbits in there. Look at this market. This is live marketing working. Okay, here's a hit that I didn't have this year. My daughter wanted it this year. Is a uncured bacon wrapped porchetta pork roast. We had this choice for dinner last year, and it was so easy and very good. Actually, I was holding it one time when I was trying. Like someone asked me a question. Like I had someone I made eye contact with. Then I went to the meat section. Then they came over to the meat section. And then I was holding this pork roast. And they asked me a question. I couldn't even answer the question. Like they said, is there pork roast here? And I said, hobada, hamana, hobada. Gotta, visaba. And so I blew that. That's like really actually what happened. When I think I described this on last year, I said, was that some like random eye contact, or was that some spark eye contact? And I said, no, just keep your eyes to yourself, Scoots. And they said, well, it's incidental lingering. I said, I couldn't do anything like eye contact, not. And they said, just go pick up your roast. And then it was already in internal conflict. So what's this? Hold the Cone. I didn't see this one either. Hold the Cone, Peppermint Edition. Pumpkin season's gone. It's peppermint season. Peppermint flavored Hold the Cone mini ice cream cones. I guess I got to go straight to Trader Joe's after I record. Then they had beet and roasted garlic dip. I did have beets during the holidays, and I still I only like pickled beets. I can taste the dirt in the beets. I don't know if I ever talked about this. I used to work in a smoothie and coffee shop, and we also had a juicer, and one of the juices we had contained beets. And since I was an employee there, he said, well, maybe I should start drinking a juice when I get to work instead of this was like a long time ago, to counteract my lifestyle. And, there was always beet. You could have it with beet or without. And like I said, this beet tastes too, much like dirt. So that's me and beets. That's beet. Maple bourbon flavored glazed uncured ham. That sounds pretty good. 3 pounds, it's $5.99 a pound. Throughout the holiday ham season, concurrent with peppermint season. This is funny writing. We all have one relative who plays the role of holiday ham so well, constantly cracking jokes at the expense of Uncle Tim, dramatically acting out scenes from Miracle on 34th Street and causing a scene during the gift exchange. But they're about to be overshadowed by a new stealing the show, maple bourbon flavored ham. So that's good. Then boneless beef rib roast, $11.99 a pound. That's too expensive for me. Artisan crafted English toffee. Is that bespoke toffee? It's $9.99 for 30 ounces. That's like Ferrero Rocher or whatever, but more expensive. Oh no, the other one, almond roca. You know, if you ever need to make up this is a freebie. Like if someone has almond roca, you just take the Ricky Martin song, "Livin' La Vida Loca," and you can just substitute eating some almond roca or whatever you wish. Billy loves almond roca, so that's a freebie for anybody that's an almond roca fan in your life. Hasselback potatoes, what the heck are those? Fried, chipped, mashed, and scalloped, and especially Hasselbacked. An accordion cut, which delivers creamy spuds with crispy skins. Made in France. Before freezing, they're fried. Seasoned with butter, salt, and then baked. When you bake them in the oven, the fan-like presentation is a sight to behold, an elegant side. And I've never seen those. My freezers are always full of junk, so I never have room for food in there. I mean, it has old food, like a lot of one ice cream containers with 1 scoop of ice cream left. And old ice, Nova Scotia sockeye salmon, smoked. That sounds delicious. I think my mom likes that, but we didn't have that this year. Jingle Jangle. I think one of our friends, Courtney, neither a song from the 70s era, Rankin Bass, or the lyrics to a cowboy ditty. Jingle Jangle's descriptive of this chocolate-covered stuff, Imagine if we had chocolate-covered snuff. Maybe they had that back then, like tobacco with chocolate covers. Mini pretzels, in chocolate and white chocolate, dark covered caramel popcorn, chocolate JoJo cookies, milk chocolate gems with a red candy coating, and milk and dark chocolate peanut butter cups, 22.7 ounce tin, $8.99. That's good to bring somewhere. Taste of Vermont gift set. There you go. Next Christmas, guess what you're getting? Yeah, Maple Taste of Vermont. I wonder if it has anything fish. It should have like a fish thing in there. No offense, a little late, Trader Joe's, but next year you got to have some. Can't have a Taste of Vermont without maybe put your Swedish fish in there. With like don't put maple syrup on the inside of Swedish fish. That doesn't sound good, but something like that. It's 3 different kinds of maple syrup made in a multi-generational sugar house. The old so charming name for a small cabin where sap is turned into maple sugar. I don't know, 4 3.4 ounce bottles. Great gift for syrup lovers. Oh, the syrups range from delicate and mild, early season, boldest of bold, late season. And you could do a syrup tasting. Talk about, I don't know if these people still say bougie, but it's like if you're having a syrup tasting, you're like you're well beyond first world problems. If you have you can't complain about a stomach ache from syrup tasting. People will be like, "You got to be kidding me!" Yeah. How about this one? Sugar plum jam. I didn't see this. I don't know if I've ever had a sugar plum. That sounds good too. I guess I should have read this, but I locked this stuff away for the podcast. Then they had single serve K-cups, different festive coffees, wintry blend gingerbread. That's probably good if you have that K-cup thing, and then you have holiday gas. Then they have a lot of different kinds of cheese, particularly the Trader Joe's have been branching out to different fondues, which are good for kids, for a fast dinner, like in the holiday season when you're like, okay, like, I need something worse for me than what we've been eating. How about just bread and cheese for dinner? But let's see, they had a black pepper pecorino. That's probably good. Is that a hard cheese? Yeah, salty, peppery. That's good on some stuff, I'm sure. I don't know, on a cheese board. I guess maybe that'd be good. Marcona almonds with rosemary. Oh, that sounds pretty good. $6.49. Rosemary, I love rosemary. Double cream brie with truffles. I may have had this. On Christmas Eve, I had a cream, and maybe this was it, and it tasted off to me, but I couldn't read the label because it had been open. Maybe that was it. It was a little too much with the truffles. I said, did this brie turn? What's double brie mean? What does it mean? I'm looking here. Adding to that exceptionalism is an inclusion of authentic black truffles. That's definitely what I had. Edward Albee famously wrote in Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, "You've got to have a swine to show you where the truffles are." Here's a Normandy-style fondue. The earliest known style comes from cooking in Zurich from 1699. But they're not the only players in the game. This holiday, we want to introduce you to different but by no means less delicious fondue, Fondue Normandy. Unlike Swiss, which is made with harder cheeses and white wine, Normandy-style fondue is made with soft cheeses and brandy. I don't know. That sounds like a little too sweet. Apple brandy. I'll skip that. Fromage pavé, French for holy cow. It could be mistaken for brie, but it includes a step in the cheese making process that changes things dramatically. The milk goes through filtration, which removes the whey before the process begins. That way the cheese retains more protein, calcium, and phosphorus. So it's exquisitely ripe and ready to enjoy only after 2 weeks. Sounds interesting. A lemon ricotta. That reminds me of the song Lady Madonna. So there's another parody song you could sing next holidays. When they say, what's in here? You say lemon ricotta. And then you sing, that's a Beatles song, by the way, kids, Lady Madonna. Yeah, so there's a 2-for-1. I forgot. Oh, the first song was Ricky Martin. I don't know if we'll see any other ones. So then beet crackers, 3-seed beet crackers. I'm sure they look good, but plus if you serve beet, you have to at some point remind people like that beet goes through your body, it stays red. So like Christmas Eve at like 1 a.m, I got a text, hey, don't forget you ate beets, at my house. I said, oh yeah. So I wasn't like, wouldn't have worried about it anyway. It was like, then stuffed brie with garlic and herbs. That could be interesting. Bacon wrapped dates with goat cheese. I'll pass on that. Ooh, creamy cauliflower and onion dip. That sounds decadent. And they really are, I don't know, what did cauliflower prices plummet? Is that why? No offense, Trader Joe's. I know it's good for you, but what are you up to with this cauliflower usage? Did you corner the market? Scallops wrapped in bacon. That could be good. Though I've been avoiding scallops because I can't eat shellfish. And I thought scallops were a bivalve, but then I don't know if they get cooked with more of the crustaceans. I don't know, provincial pastry puffs. Those are vegetarian with herbs de Provence and vegetables in their puffs. 25 for $3.99. Mini quiche duo, that's probably pretty good. Oh yeah, truffle and Swiss with cremini mushrooms and chives, and then bacon and sauteed onion with Swiss cheese and shallots. Wow, that's like a what do you call that thing when you have, buffet come true. Mini cheese crepes, shrimp and salmon trio, mini brie and crotte. That's kind of like a chamazani sear, like fried cheese, but it's baked cheese. It says use the sugar plum jam. I think that's what it is. In crouters, does that mean in... this is a miniaturized, each person flaky puff pastry. Yeah, that's a good one. Almond nog. I did have this on one day, and I wasn't a fan. I like eggnog, and to be honest, I did. Again, I tried to cut back on my eggnog consumption this year, but I had found I'm not going to out the other main supermarket that's by me. But I compared to Trader Joe's store brand eggnog, light and regular, to my local supermarket, a giant chain supermarket. And I don't know what was in their eggnog, but and I tried it at 2 different occasions. It had some, it didn't agree with me, where Trader Joe's was great. And they only tried 2 other brands that were pretty good. Then they had this cinnamon streusel coffee cake. I did buy this, and what I did was just like with the almond, I think I explained this, they have the almond thing. I cut this cake into 4s and then put 3/4 in the freezer and served 1/4 for breakfast, 2 mornings. And then, so literally you got 6 breakfasts for 2 out of that, and it freezes well, and then you pull it out of the freezer the night before, leave it on the counter wrapped, and it comes out great. And triple ginger brew, that comes in a cool bottle. I didn't have any of this year, but that's cool. A gingerbread house kit, we didn't do that this year. Still have one from 2015 that we haven't made. Same box though. Pitted cherries, so that could be good. 7 salts of the earth. The Fox interviews that they have Inca Sun, Blue Persian, South African Oak Smoked, Hawaiian Red, Hawaiian Black Lava, Himalayan Pink, and Kalahari Desert. Wow, that's fancy. $8.99 for a whole set of salts. Poinsettias, $5.99. I didn't buy any of those. He said, I looked at him. I said, you're lucky you're not going home with me. Cinnamon roll wreath. We did do this year. This is one of the things where you proof it with like their frozen croissants. And it really came out well. And it because it wasn't in that, definitely had a much more natural tasting flavor than the ones that come in the tubes. Oh, here was a pick. This might be, here we go. Like, if we had sound effects on the show, we'd have them now because this is my 2017 Trader Joe's pick of the year. 100% Honeycrisp apple cider, $2.99 for 64 ounces. Well, I didn't stock up on this. I did go through 2 bottles of it, and I'm a cider snob. And I'll tell you, like, most cider that isn't fresh, apple cider, is not, like, it's not, you say, that's like unfiltered apple juice or something. That's not apple cider. And most cider that's not made with, like, upstate New York apples, like Macintosh, like our friend Big Mac, like, I don't have an interest in consuming, but this was pretty good. Like, I mean, if you want apple cider, go to your local farmer's market in the apple season, but this will do. And especially because it's like hermetically sealed, I'm sure you could keep it on your shelf for, I mean, once you open it in your fridge, it's 7 to 10 days. Oh, unopened your pantry 6 months. But really good and a good alternative. I mean, I'm sure it's got a lot of sugar and stuff, but it's really good. So Honeycrisp apple cider, that's my pick of the year. Like, you would have thought it was a cookie? No, it was a cider. And I guess the reason I say that is because it almost it has a flavor of East Coast. I mean, I don't know. I never had any West Coast because I went to the farmer's market one time, and this was before, like, when I was really struggling financially. He said, how much is your apple cider? And the person was like, $12. I was like, okay, I can't handle that. But this has the taste of real apple cider. That's the important thing. Like, it has this, like, cider flavor. Like, it's a tart. I don't know. It's tough to replicate. But it has a tartness, you know. Let's get through the rest of this. Belgian cookie collection. I think I tried that last year. I am a big fan of those Belgian cookies because I love butter cookies. I didn't try that this year. Then they have the peppermint JoJo's covered in chocolate with candy cane or not candy cane. And those I can't eat anymore. Italian butter cookies. I didn't see that with a few meringues. Maybe I'm going to try that. Oh, here's this is what I like. The Danish butter cookies. $5. I got to keep an eye out for that. That looks good. But they didn't have the ones I liked, which were just the Christmas wreaths or whatever. This I didn't buy, but it looked interesting. Libkuchen. Soft gingerbread biscuits. I almost bought that at checkout. And they said, no, Scoots, we're practicing control this year. Here was another one I didn't get because I was trying to practice. Well, what the heck? Why would you practice control? But Walker's shortbread assortment. Maybe that's 20. When it, like this is coming out in 2018, I'll just go and buy whatever I want. 32 cookie shortbread assortment in different flavor profiles. That's interesting. Stroopwafel, tin of stroopwafels. What do you mean you never heard of stroopwafeling? It says wafling, wafling. I don't know. A caramel sandwich between 2 thin waffles. I didn't see that either. Raspberry stars. I'm not. That sounds interesting, but I'd rather have the homemade ones of those. I guess I missed a lot this year because I didn't read this. 3-pepper salami, Tea Party, winter sale. Listeners, let me know that stuff's not tasty. Salted honey milk chocolate. Oh, I tried those last year. Salted honey toffee crackers. Need more salt on the cracker, I think, in 2016. I saw these. These look like a snack for lunch. Soft baked drizzled gingerbread oat bars. But my daughter doesn't like bars for a snack, for school. I didn't see these either. Chocolate mint-flavored cupcakes, divine dessert. They come topped with mini dark chocolate stars. Candy creamed green tea. I haven't tried that, but I tried the chocolate black tea. It was very good. Chocolate peppermint almond beverage. I didn't try that, but I did try the almond nog. It was good, but not as good as a dairy-based nog. Nut and fruits and honey. That's, I guess, another thing. Mini cannolis. Eggnog yogurt. No, sir. You might as well call me a freaking snowflake. That just sounds weird. Eggnog yogurt. Maybe I'll try it, though. Truffle honey mustard. I don't like sweet mustards. Geez, I'm sounding choosy here. Here's the ugly sweater cookie kit. That one is a gift that keeps on giving. Really good and fun. We did that Christmas Eve with a group of people. Bourbon barrel maple syrup glazed walnuts. That could be good for something. No salt hazelnuts. New lower prices. A rainbow of honey, $9.99. I got some honey from a listener. Thank you so much. Light and regular eggnog, as I said, that's pretty good. $2.99 for 32 ounces. Double cream bee chocolate l'orange. I didn't get one of those. I don't know. I guess it's not something I normally have anyway. I like to stick cloves in an orange. That was our holiday thing to make our house smell good as kids. I think the clove prices have exploded since I was a child, so I don't know if I would do that anymore. Also, I'm just assuming lobster tails. I can't have those, but that seems like a good deal. Wild caught. Fruit and nut crisps, chocolate chip panettone. You know, I think I saw, what's that guy? Jamie Oliver had a recipe with panettone. So I don't know how to pronounce that. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I call it panettone, just like the color thing. I think it's pronounced differently, but I say that's one of my jokes. Get Pantone on the phone. I got to get my colors right, but it's Pantone is a color thing. I don't know what this one is. Pan-A-tone or something. Maybe it's Panettone. I don't know. That's like the thing. It's like too close to, what is that? The fruit nut bread, fruit cake. I say Panettone, maybe because it has anise. I don't know. I never have it. Paper white. They had amaryllis bulbs, paper white bulbs, lip therapy kits. If any lips need therapy, it's mine. They say, well, we don't need therapy. We're not doing anything other than flapping when you talk nonstop. Winter wake up tea, the grump tree. I saw a lot of people getting those. That's kind of like something from the Who's Village. Gingerbread dog treats. I got that last year for Koa. She liked it last year, but I said this year, I don't know. Bass Fizzer's gift set. Ooh. I didn't see this. I love a Bass Fizzer. I don't know. For $6.99 is a little spendy though. But that's always fun. Me and my daughter were making our own Bass Fizzers for a short time. Gingerbread coffee. That's not my style. Cedar balsam candles. I have those in my car to keep my car smelling good. Oh no, I have them by my garbage can from last year. So this smell pretty good. Scandinavian tidings. What are those? They're like Scandinavian swimmers, but they come in joyful shapes. Red ornaments, green trees, and clear stars. A berry-flavored sour apple and sparkling grape. Those sound pretty good. Warm vanilla body butter. That sounds pretty good for, like a bomb. $4.99. Maybe I'll get that just to try it when I put my bomb on. And big chocolate bars. Those are hilarious. They're 4-pound giant chocolate bars. And that's the close of the flyer, but I do have to give two special mentions that may be in their next Fearless flyer. But Trader Joe's, there's the sparkling water business is highly competitive now. And as I've talked with listeners, like I try to drink, I drink a lot of sparkling water. I make some at home, and then I also drink the Gerolsteiner. I don't know if that's a problem. They come in a glass bottle at Trader Joe's, recyclable bottles. That's a mineral water. Then there's also Trader Joe's cans of sparkling water, a little bit pricey. And any friend of like Bill's, like will tell you, like they drink a lot of sparkling water out of a can, or a lot of us do, and it's good because the cans get so cold, and you get the visceral cracking of the can. So usually you have to go to a different supermarket, but Trader Joe's does have like in plastic, like 1 liter bottles. They've done some cool things, and they had 2 new flavors this holiday season. Star fruit, I think, was one. And it was pretty good. It was almost like tasted like a candy. And then winter sangria was another one. And that kind of tasted like grape soda almost. And it's just sparkling water, with whatever, generally considered safe flavorings are in there. But they're both really good. So I recommend that. But you got to put it in a glass. Otherwise, you got to drink it out of plastic. So those are a couple things. I think that's about it. So I hope, you think about 2018 and the Trader Joe's holiday season. Maybe at some point Trader Joe's will, get their head on straight and support podcasts. You don't even need to support mine, just support somebody's. But I hope you had a nice holiday season. Looking back at it, and I don't know what's in your cupboard, but I know what's in mine. Those chocolate stars are going to get some business soon. All right, good night, and I'll talk to you soon.
Maybe this is Scoots trying to tuck you in, and I'm trying to get through. If you're still listening to me, this tuck you in message is very, very specific, because obviously if you listen on a regular basis, we're trying to reach people just like you. I'm not sure if you're the person I'm trying to get through to right now, but it is a lot for a sleep podcast, right? Because I need somebody that's listening, paying attention, hearing me. And in this case, I'm looking for somebody, and I don't know if you're that person that listens all night long, and I just caught you at the right time, or you listen 5 nights a week, you listen to 1 or 2 episodes a night. You're very, very specific, and it might be easy for you to brush off, but I really need you to just please listen to me, and I promise we'll have a great deal at the end if you hear me out. Because a lot of people tune me out, or I'm not even sure what is the main thing that I need to say. I'm not trying to convince you of anything. I'm only trying to see if you're the person this message is for, really. Because I know I don't need to convince anybody to support the show. Because like 50% of the people, or a little bit more than 50% of the people that I'm trying to get through to this say, no, I'm not going to support the podcast. And then there's the people that will support the podcast, but then there's the large majority of super listeners. And in this case, are you, so let's see, are you listening to me? Or are you paying attention? Do you listen either all night long, 5, 6, 7 nights a week, or you listen to multiple episodes a night? Because you're definitely a super listener. It sounds like the podcast makes your life better, but you could decide that, right? Does the podcast make yourself better? But if this show is here for you, we really do need, our goal was by the summer to get 1,500 super listeners just like you to support the show on Sleep With Me Plus. Not just so the show can get by, but so it can be here. We put out a lot of content. I don't know, so it can be here for you to listen to it all night long, because ads have never covered all night listening. Ads have never covered the cost of multiple episodes a night listening, because in the end, we make about a half a penny an ad. And if you're fine with that, I'm not trying to change your mind, right? Or if you say, I don't like it, it's not a big deal to me whether the podcast is there or not, or whether it gets by or not, whether it's a struggle or whether the show's flourishing. I'm not trying to get a hold of you if you're that person. I'm just wondering if you're one of those people that cares and knows the podcast is valuable to you, but there's something else that's been standing in your way, because I'm not sure what it is. And I know if it's like that for you, it's probably like that for other people, and that's how we're going to get there to our goal, because we do have a long way to go. We've got 500 people supporting the show, new supporters now, and we need 1,000 more. And I don't know if you're that one person, but don't deny the fact you can choose not to support the show. That's great. But I am talking to you. Like, you probably are the only person hearing me and listening to me right now. So I just need you to decide. If you decide, no, I'm not going to support the show, that's a valid choice. Otherwise, you could think about supporting the show. But don't be in the middle. The middle's where the podcast can't make it, right? It's, I don't know, I need to get through to those people that listen all night long. And if not, right, like I said, if you don't want to support the show, if you're not going to support the show and you decide that, that's okay. I'm only trying to get through the people I need to get through to. I'm not trying to change minds as so much as communicate and be heard by the people that are listening and can hear me. But the thing is, if you're not going to support Sleep with me and you're still listening and hearing me, think about, like, what do you use as much as Sleep with me or more? What makes your life better, even if it's during the day? I could ask you a favor. Support that. Even if it's a mega corporation, even if you pay for the service and it has ads, support it, right? Like, support whatever makes your life better. One thing. You could, if you're in a position to support multiple things, that's amazing too. But if you're not going to support Sleep with me, think about what is that thing, the creator, the musician, the writer, who you are going to support. But if you're like, no, Sleep with me is the thing that makes my life better. Like, Sleep with me is the thing. And I am getting through to you, right? Sleep with me's been there when nothing else has. You paid for other sleep stuff. It never worked for you. You listen to the show all night long and you want to pay for it because ads don't cover the cost of that, right? But we only need one out of, what do we got? We need 1,000 of about 19,000 people. So 1 out of 20. If you're that 1 out of 20 people, you could change the thing of the show. You get a 7-day trial at Sleep with Me Plus. But here's the thing. If you're listening to me right now, we got 2 deals going here. You could go to sleepwithmepodcast.com/all-night and you'll get a 20% off the Boyfriend tier. Only the Boyfriend tier, and only if you use that link, sleepwithmepodcast.com/all-night. Because the Boyfriend tier and the Boar Besties tier are built with all-night listeners in mind. But I can only give you the discount if you use that link. And it'll automatically populate if you go to sleepwithmepodcast.com/all-night. But here's the thing. The first 5 people that do that, I'm also going to send you a notebook because I'm moving and I'm going through all my old stuff. And I used to take paper handwritten notes of the TV recaps and the written episodes. I can't let you choose because a lot of stuff's already packed, but I will take a notebook. I'll put a couple stickers in it and I'll send it to you. If you sign up at sleepwithmepodcast.com/all-night, and you'll get that 20% off deal. So it's 20% off Boyfriend tier. This is the best tier for all night listening. It's built with all night listeners or people that listen very frequently. So become a Boyfriend and you'll get that discount at sleepwithmepodcast.com/all-night. Thanks.